Hey there, Vinny from Project Frugal. It's only been a couple of days since our last release, but it's time for another one. Now we're back on track every 2 weeks, investing $1,000 into Denise's portfolio. Let's check it out and see what's happened. And let's get into the numbers. So $45,549.49, episode 51. We should have 51,000. We don't have 51,000. We're 5,500 short of where we should be, but it's better than a couple of days ago when it was over $6,000 short of where we're supposed to be. So the market has been semi-okay. Now, what we did notice in the last couple of days, if we have a look at the wallet and see what was purchased yesterday, Fletcher Building got all the cash, because apparently their earnings are not as good as they thought they were going to be. However, they dropped 3.86% on Monday, today being Wednesday. We decided to invest in them because there's usually a sort of a bit of a bounce back, and yes, there was indeed a bit of a bounce back on Fletcher Building. So we paid $4.63. Let's go and have a look at the chart, see what happened over there. What's the current price of Fletcher Building? Well, it is $4.75, so it's gained 12 cents since we purchased the shares. How many did we buy? We bought a couple of hundred, so 12 cents a share, a couple of hundred. We've probably made $20. Yeah, all right. Not going to complain at that. Anyway, we've got some dividends coming up. May, $11 so far for this portfolio. June, $45. July, $95. $151 in dividends coming up in the next couple of 3 months. There'll be a lot more to come. There's some earnings dates down here. What do we got? We've got coming up Turner's Automotive. They normally pay a decent amount, so we're probably looking at $60, $60 odd a quarter for Turner's of our $3,700 that we've got invested in this portfolio. We can see down here we've still got the analyst recommendations on all sorts of things here. So we've got Contact as a buy according to the analyst, Fletcher Building as a buy, which we just purchased, Heartland Group as a buy, even though it's a bit up and down at the moment. So overall we've lost $192 on that particular stock. Never mind, we're going to carry on investing into whatever is the flavour of the day. And overall, there's a lot of red on here, but in time that will turn hopefully all green. That's what we're hoping anyway. So this particular portfolio, negative $5,443. There's a little bit of a number adjustment, shall we say, because we haven't included the fees, the $15 that we put in for the Sharesies plan last month, which has subsequently been cancelled. We've burned through as much money as we possibly could have saved up, 5 or 6 grand all up, to take advantage of that $15 plan. So we're not, well, basically, so we're paying minimal fees, and it's worked out pretty well. So from this point on, the next road to 100K, pretty much all we'll be doing, investing another $1,000, except it's going to go straight into the wallet and it won't be invested at all. We'll just keep on building that money up till we've got at least $3,000. So if we do buy, we'll get another plan, we'll spend $15. Worst case scenario, we'll be paying 0.5% for transaction fees. Ideally, if we have $5,000, we'll be paying 0.3% for transaction fees. Anything over and above that is even cheaper, and we will do what we did last time of the auto invest, and as well as take advantage of the up to $5,000 of buying and selling without getting charged additional fees. If we go and have a look at the dividends, probably not a lot has changed since the last couple of days, that's for sure, but we'll go and have a look anyway. So we're up to $642. I'm expecting over the course of the rest of the year, that number should go over $2,000 for the entire year. We'll just have to wait and see what it does over the course of the next year. And a little bit coming out in May. May is traditionally not a good payer for this particular, well, for New Zealand companies in general, so not too worried about that. If we look at the historical figures there, we should be expecting at least $250 all up in June. There will be more than that because we've been investing since June, which also coincides with December on some stocks. So who knows, that could be $300, it could be maybe even $350 for June. We'll just have to wait and see. It's always exciting to see what is going to occur once it occurs and once the month is finally done, to basically see the numbers growing. As you can see here in January, initially $23.32. Well, nothing in the first year because we hadn't invested at that point. $23.32 this January this year, $37. Nothing in February last year. This year, $19. That's always an improvement. March is a good paying month in New Zealand, $179. Now paying almost $400 for that particular month. April, another good indication, $132. We've pushed that up another $50 or so, $55. So that's good. We'll just keep on doing that. And the idea really is, well, obviously we'd like to be making thousands of dollars a month in dividends. A long way to go before that we even get remotely close to that. But if we could push some of these months up, maybe we could get January eventually into triple figures, just $100 for the month. That'd be great. Maybe eventually get March to $1,000. That'll be a milestone. And just keep building up month by month by month, depending on what the companies are, of course. Going back into the share allocation, we'll have a quick look at that. So once again, financial services dropping slightly because we're investing in probably basic materials, I'd imagine, or industrials, whichever one. No, it's not. It's probably basic materials, I think, for Fletcher building. Anyway, that's what we've gone with in this particular episode, and that's what we'll stick with. So we're just going to grow some of these other things here to minimize the damage of financial services, depending on what the financial markets are doing. And it makes sense. More diversification will result in overall hopefully a better performance that'll just flatten the curve a little bit on what it does. And looking at the NZX50 charts, we can see that, well, over the last week it's pretty much break even. The fortnight pretty much break even. Over the month, slightly up. And we are definitely on that sort of upward curve over the last 6 months, and definitely over the last year. We're on a bit of an upward curve, which is good news. Nothing much has changed in terms of the dividend payment months now that we've got 19 odd instruments on this particular portfolio, but we are into May and we've only got one stock that pays out in May, which is Property for Industry. June we've got, how many we got there? We got 5, couple in July, couple in August. September is a good one, October is a good one, December is a good one, March and April, but the rest of them, well, it's pretty hard to even find stocks that will pay out in those months. That's why we've gone with things like Turner's, which does pay out in January. They pay out 4 times a year. They pay out in January. They pay out in April. They pay out in July. And they also pay out in October. So 4 payments a year. If we're getting $60 odd from that 4 times a year, $240, great. And it certainly was a good gain over the course of the trading day, $385.32. The day before, probably not so good, but that's the way it goes, and it could go up and down. We've got no control over it. We've just got to invest in companies that we think are going to go well, companies that maybe they release some earnings data, and maybe the data is favorable. And obviously, anyone who jumps on the investing bandwagon, if they see that, the stock price goes up. And if the company's doing poorly, the stock price goes down. So we'll take that into account, but we're not going to be selling anything. We're just going to keep on buying and holding. And eventually, the dividends will be what we're going to get out of this particular portfolio to hopefully fund our minimal lifestyle. And there we go. Road to 100K, episode 51, done and dusted. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll look forward to you participating in the next 49 episodes and see if we make it to 100,000 or not. Catch you later and have a great night.